Holy Napoleon, where the fuck do I even start with this? There are so many non-functional things on this champion. So I spent 2 days in the practice tool recreating the non-functional things on Zeri, just to make sure that everything I found on PB wasn't already changed. First is that there's no good way to itemize on her, as her passive forces her to buy ability power due to the lack of attack damage scaling. Meanwhile, her Q forces her to buy attack damage items as he has no ability power scaling. If buying AD and AP at the same time isn't already hard enough, he also has some random crit and on-hit interactions thrown in. And in addition to all this garbage, her attack speed is capped at 1.5 just to stop you from building all attack speed, forcing you into more of a fucking conundrum. Second, her ult drops her Q particle count from 7 to 3, meaning that it will lower the goddamn effectiveness for everything that interacts with damage instances, like Black Cleaver, Lethal Temple, and some on-hit effects, which I'll explain later in the goddamn video, because her Q on hit is so fucking dumb. Third, Zeri ult also gives her a static shift effect, which is just like the old static shift and can crit on secondary hits. But unlike the old static shift, it doesn't skill with anything but AP. What fucking item gives crit and AP at the same time? 4. Zeri E also has an interaction with crit. All piercing shots will crit and deal additional damage, but on-hit effects will only be applied towards the first target struck. This is a big deal, trust me. I will explain later when I get to her Q, which is a can of fucking worms that I don't want to open right now. 5. She will get stuck inside of a wall if it's generated on her while she's in dash, but not when she's in the wall slide mode thing, because fuck consistency. And only champions within 800 units can see you while you're wall sliding, so you can slide along these walls without getting targeted by towers, but only if there are no enemy champions around. Zeri can recall, cast W and R, or use most summoner spells and items while in E's wall dash, but not Everfrost or Hextech Flash, because Riot fucking loves inconsistency. You can still cast W during the normal dash, allowing you to do things like this. Zeri passive allows her to steal both magic and physical shields, but they're converted back over to a normal shield. 17. Zeri can gain a massive 200 health shield by just attacking the scuttle. This would have been useful last fucking season, since scuttles are borderline worthless this season. Zeri gains a burst of movement speed whenever she gains a shield from any sources, so I highly recommend WMAX Eclipse Zeri. Now finally, her Q, the thing that makes her utterly unfunctional and allows her to completely break the game. When the game starts, you will automatically have a point in Q, because communism, what used to be your ability to choose what you learn at level 1, is now our ability to choose what you learn at level 1, making it nigh impossible for you to control the game by leveling E and running it down. Now here comes all the fun part. Zeri's auto attack is treated as a targeted ability, thus triggering items and runes with the damaging abilities condition or the ability activation condition, such as Mana Flow Band, Comet, Uden's Tempest, Leandri's Anguish, Sheen, and grants 2 stacks of Conquer instead of 1. Zeri Q active is where everything hits the damn shitters, as it is treated as a basic attack, but it's completely and utterly broken with on-hit effects, as one Q cast shoots 7 projectiles, and every single one of them is capable of applying on-hit effects, but they need to hit unique targets. Something like this. This means if you aim your shots properly, you can heal for 21 health per Q with just a single fucking call, which is 8 times the healing that you would get from a Doran's Blade. And as I said earlier, her ult drops her Q particle count from 7 to 3, thus lowering the potential for on-hit effects. With a combination of her right click and Q, she can cast up to 3 abilities within 1 second without spending any mana, which will be great for stacking tier if it wasn't for the fact that it's completely broken on Zeri! Her right click should trigger tier, but it doesn't. Instead, her Q triggers it twice. And the second passive, Focus, which can also be found on Doran's Shield and Doran's Ring, can neither be triggered by Q nor right click. So if you feel like Zeri is hard to last hit with, then you're not alone. While Zeri is in Q animation, she can neither dash or move, but she can still blink or flash to reposition herself, and the remaining projectiles will be shot from her new location. So now knowing that Zeri has great AD scalings on her Q, W, and R, even better AP scalings on her passive and R, plus crit interactions that scale with so AP and AD, and her usage of on-hit effects are completely independent from attack speed, and her attack speed is instead cooldown reduction, as the more Q Qs you can cast, the faster your E comes back up, and your R theoretically has a 100% uptime, so the only reason you will want to buy Ability Haste is for her W. So don't ever play her in Earth!
I feel like I'm playing a non-Earth champion versus Earth champions. Oh shit, I hate that Giannu's probably having the most fun out of all of us. He's been sitting there casting E's down mid the entire game.
Yes, in fact, you'll have more fun mindlessly spamming E down on lane as Lilia than to play Zeri in Earth.